Hi, my name is Dante. This video is for the young man or young woman who paid $200 for a program that either A, no one really uses around them, or B, no one wants to teach on a one-on-one basis because they don't really know how to use the program either. Or they want you to pay them to teach you. Nobody owes you this, and I'm not here to sell you a course. People live in a time where the consumer has direct access to a market that was controlled by gatekeepers and fiddlers. So before you end up in someone's studio being taken advantage of, just listen to the words I say and apply them. I promise you, it'll help you in your journey. Being straight up, there's only one way you're going to learn this. You gotta do it yourself. I can only give you the tools, but you gotta learn how to use them personally for your best fit. We may not do the same genres, and you have better fresh ears than me. Learn this so you could express them as well, or even better than me. What this game is about is capturing a performance. You chose a good DAW in order to do this. Let's begin. Dr. Momentum's audio treatise, presented by Cal Studios, LLC. The goal. The goal of this work is to give you an introduction to the art of audio engineering. The art of the mix entails limiting distortion and placing sounds where you need them to effectively play the sound waves the way you want them to sound out of the speakers. In the mix, when you add, you must remove beforehand. In the mix, you shall not use your eyes to determine what needs to be done. You must only use your ears. In the mix, in order for one element to be strong, another must be weak. This is a very important point. Dr. Momentum's principles of sound. Dynamics. How expressive is the signal? Can I clearly hear the changes in whatever signal is being perceived? Depth. How big is the mix? Is what I am playing in the headphones filling my brain? Do I feel it over me, in the car, in the studio? Does the mix seem a little dry? Clarity. Do I hear distortion where there clearly shouldn't be? Is there hissing? Character. Does everything click? Does the overall feel of the project hit? Should I add a little distortion or even let the meters hit the red before I add a limiter? This is a little introduction to psychoacoustics. The image you see on the screen right now is a visualization of the stereo field. In the top two corners, you see two speakers. What this means is a stereo image, all in totality, is essentially the space between our two ears. The depth of a specific signal can be controlled using volume levels, reverb, and time-based effects. This creates a three-dimensional effect of the stereo field. Essentially, what you are doing is creating a room for your mix to capture the performance. Logic Pro X is a digital audio workstation that is a native system that operates on a 32-bit floating point basis. What this means is, contrary to what many may think, the only output in the red that causes distortion is located at the stereo output channel. The stereo output channel is located on the mixer just before the last master channel. This is where you need to keep in mind to have at least negative 1.5 decibels of headroom before you run it through a master or place a limiter in the effects slot. I'll explain more of this later on. Some basic terminology. In order for us to truly communicate, we must break down some basic terminology, which will allow you to navigate effectively in the following presented works. Please refer to this document whenever you're confused about certain terminology for your best understanding. The link to the PDF is in my bio. Your workstation. Your workstation gives you a visual layout of all tracks, as well as the labels they are associated with. Press B on your keyboard. You are given some functions at the bottom of the workstation. Press A. What you are seeing is the automation interface. Automation helps us with tracking. We'll get more in this in depth later. Press T. These are your tools within the workstation. To open a workstation window of your project, press Command +1. Anatomy of the workstation. The different colored transients are tracks. In each track you have a mixer, the anatomy of the mixer. In the following slide, you will see the breakdown of all functions, capabilities of the channel strip. Read along with the definitions in the PDF previously given and the some basic terminology slide. To open a mixer window of your project, press Command +2. Anatomy of the mixer, channel strip. I'll be honest, out of all these buttons, the ones I use most are the input or the format button. I use the send slot. I use the pan balance knob, record enable button, input monitoring button, bounce button, volume fader, and the level meter. The peak level display as well. The EQ display as well. Most of these are input instrument slot as well. Audio effects slot. All these buttons matter. I'm not going to lie. All these buttons matter. Familiarize yourself with all of these buttons. Get familiar with your channel strip. Once you're familiar with the channel strip, you'll realize that you have your faders. You also have pre-fader metering and post-fader metering. The mixer. In the mix, most of the action will be taking place in the mixer. All slides herein will be a step-by-step process for you to begin to have a basis on what to do, whether that be during or after a session. The purpose of this video was to help the viewer establish at least a basic sense of what's going on within the DAW. The purpose of this video was not to express how to mix. It was the basic fundamentals and understanding you should have before you even think about opening a project and starting a mix. Very powerful, smart people got together and made this program, and I gave you introduction to psychoacoustics to help you realize that most of the tools that you'll be using affects the space between your two ears. Please subscribe, and we'll get more in depth into mixing and mastering later on. My name is Dante, and once again, please subscribe and check out my bio for the content that you need in order to help you during this process of learning with me. Thank you. Peace be with you. All praise to Yeshua.